Hi everyone and welcome to Steve's Kitchen. If you watched the Peking duck recipe I made the other day, and that's on my channel, then you'll want to know how to make these wonderful Chinese steamed pancakes. They're beautiful, they're fragrant, very thin, delicious tasting. Let me show you now how to make these steamed pancakes. So the first of my ingredients are 2 cups of plain all-purpose flour. And into the flour I'm just putting half a teaspoon of salt. And as is the basis of a lot of these simple bread recipes, they start with seasoned flour. I've got 1 cup of boiling hot water, and I'm not going to use all of this just yet, guys, so be careful. I'm going to put in 2/3 of that, and then using a fork, because this is going to be hot, start to mix that through. Okay, I'm going to add the rest of that water in there. Looks like it'll need the full cup. Now we've just let that mixture cool down a little bit, a few minutes. Now we can get our hands in there and start drawing this dough together. As it starts to bind together, I'm just going to move it out onto a work surface and then start to knead the dough, pushing down with the heel of your hand and stretching the dough out. You'll feel a slightly gritty texture to the dough initially, but as you knead the dough, after about sort of 5 or 10 minutes, you'll get a lovely smooth silky feel. Now if the dough ends up too sticky, we can just add a little flour to our hands and to the dough and continue to mix that through. We want a smooth silky dough that's not too sticky but not too firm. So now our dough started to become nice and smooth and elastic. I'm just going to pop that back in a bowl, and I'm going to cover it with a damp paper towel or a towel of any sort that's damp, just to keep the moisture in there, and leave that for about 15 to 20 minutes to settle. Okay, let's take our dough out of the bowl now, and we're going to divide this up into small pieces, not much bigger than a ping pong ball. And for those of you that care to count, they're about 1 ounce, 30 grams each of these little dough balls. Now I'm just going to roll them under my hand, push firmly down on the palm, make a little ball like that, pop them back into our bowl. So there they are, 18 little dough balls. Now I'm going to work on these straight away, but if you were going to leave these even for a short time, keep a damp cloth over the top of this. Now I'm just taking a piece of wax paper and I'm just going to fold it up. This is to place our pancakes onto while they cook. Until you have a point like this. Now whether you're using a bamboo steamer or a metal steamer like this, take that piece of wax paper and just cut it roughly a little short of halfway. We unwrap the piece of paper, we've got a nice little circle there, and that's going to sit in the steamer whilst we're cooking with the pancakes on. Now at this point we want a little corn flour or cornstarch, and we just want to pop that down on the surface here. We're going to be using that to roll our little balls into circles. So just push the little dough ball into the corn flour and then turn it 1 time so you've got a floured surface. And then we're just going to take our rolling pin and start to roll these out and turn them, spin them as you go. So we've got a little disc there now, about 5 inches in diameter. And now we're going to take a little bit of fragrant sesame oil, and don't use a brush for this. You need to use your fingers because we don't want too much oil on the surface. If you use a brush, and I found from experience, the pancakes will slide apart, and we just want to coat the whole surface with our fingers. So we've completely covered the surface of that disc, and then we'll start on another disc again. And again, we stack that dry on top of the last pancake and take our fingers again and just coat the top of the last pancake with a little light dusting of oil. Now I've got several there in a little pile. I'll leave the top one unoiled. It's important that one doesn't have oil on it. And we can now, we've already got a fairly thin pancake there, but now we can take our rolling pin and we can just roll, turn and roll again. And these pancakes, thin as they are, will get even thinner. So I've got 2 little stacks now of pancakes. I'm just going to oil between, I'm going to stack them together, but first I want to add a little oil to the surface of the one that's going to be the leading edge. Now whether you're going to use a metal steaming bowl or a bamboo steaming basket like I am here, both will work perfectly fine, whatever steaming method you have. We take our little stack of pancakes, pop them in the steamer on that little bit of wax paper in there. Now I've got a very small amount of water in a saucepan here on the stove, and I'm just bringing that up to a boil. Now as your water comes up to a boil, we can pop our little basket, a little steaming basket on top, and then a little bamboo lid over the top of that, and that is going to steam for no more than 6 minutes and they'll be perfectly cooked. Okay, they've been on the steamer now for about 6 minutes, and you can see inside we've got these lovely, fully cooked through steamed pancakes. And because they've been oiled, they pull apart beautifully, and there you have the piping hot steamed Chinese pancakes, ready for, in this instance, I'm making Peking duck, and we'll be using these in the Peking duck video, which you can also see on my channel. So get across, have a look at the Peking duck, have a look at these pancakes in action. Kung Hei Fat Joy, Happy New Year to everybody who's celebrating the New Year this time of year. I'll see you in the next video. Be good. Now look at that. They are absolutely delicious. The smell, they're piping hot still. I absolutely can't wait. If you're looking at these now and you love pretzels, you're going to have to rush out and get yourself a pretzel hit from somewhere, or get and make your own, just like these. They taste wonderful.